What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your boy back with another one. People, in this video, we are going to discuss the embarrassing, disgusting, humiliating role that Egypt played in the genocide of the Palestinians. Man, let me know what you think about this topic in the comment section below, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. You know we family, right? Holla. People, Egypt or the government of Egypt, let's put it that way. The government of Egypt are a disgrace to the Muslim community worldwide. Now, why am I saying this? You see, the government of President Sisi, or whatever his name is, he could have helped the Palestinians. Now, how could he have done this? October the 8th, when the Palestinians were fleeing from the bombs and the tanks and the whatever happened after the retaliation of Israel of what happened on October 7th. Now, what could Egypt have done when the Palestinians were fleeing southwards? Now, let's put this into context. The Egyptian government could have opened its borders to women and children, the elderly, the sick, and the most vulnerable. Right? That's the least a Muslim country could have done for other Muslim members who are fleeing a genocide. Okay? That's Muslim to Muslim. What Egypt could have done was close off the borders to military aged men of fighting capability and say, guys, you as the men can stay and defend your country, because if you all run away and leave your country, it would be taken over by the Israelis. Now, I totally understand the fact that the Egyptian government chose to close off its borders, because if they had let all the Palestinians in, Israel would have had a free reign to take over the territory, because there'd be no one left to defend it. Right? I totally understand that point. But what I'm not understanding is why Israel couldn't think long and hard and say, look, babies, mothers, women, grannies, grandfathers, anyone sickly, anyone bedridden, wheelchair bound, anybody who is in a vulnerable state can come through. But no, the Egyptian government chose not to be Muslim. They chose not to be humanitarian. They chose not to be saints. They chose not to be on the right side of history. Now, why am I upset? Because I'm Muslim. Why am I upset? Because I'm African. You see, these Egyptian members of parliament, this Egyptian government claims to be African, claims to be Arab, claims to be Muslim. But in which capacity are these Egyptian members of parliament, this Egyptian government, in which capacity are they any of those that I just mentioned above? How? How? Now, should Egypt be removed from Africa? I think so. Where will they go? They can go into the sea. They can definitely go into the sea. We can push them out to the sea. Should the Egyptian government be removed from power? Of course they should. Where should they go? Into the sea. Do we care? No, we don't care. Why? Because they have shown no mercy, no acts of humanitarianism, no acts of any kind that shows what Africa stands for. Now, in South Africa, there's a word we call Ubuntu. Ubuntu means oneness, humanitarian. It means a people's person, of the people, because you are, because we are. Oneness, Ubuntu. Show your humanitarian side. That's what it's there for. Now, Egyptians, the government of Egypt, this is directly to them. I really want to be violent and shout and swear, because at this point I'm really angry, and I feel I have the freedom of speech to say what the hell I want on my channel, on my space. It's my freedom, it's my phone, it's my data, it's my everything. So I'm going to take a stab at the Egyptian government and say this directly to them. You, the Egyptian government, are a piece of worthless human garbage. You people think just because you are not experiencing a war or a genocide that you are better than the Palestinians, which you are not. Now, listen carefully. Because you are in Africa, I have to talk about you, because you are a representative of Africans. Now, you may think that you are only Arabs, but you are not. You are on the continent of Africa. You are not on the continent of Asia. You need to understand that, but you don't. You see, now, what even makes life even worse is that here you are peddling yourselves as, I don't know, one of the highest members of the Muslim world, because you think, because you will influence in the Muslim world, that you are better than the Palestinians, which you are not. Now, I discovered something that shocked me. Egypt had the option, the possibility, they actually had an opportunity to annex Gaza and make life easier for the Palestinians, but they chose not to. Now, somebody, anybody, please tell me, how are the Egyptian government even able to be allowed to thrive and survive, since they cannot help their own brothers and sisters? The Egyptians have let not only the Arabs down, they've let the Africans down. South Africa, all the way down south, had to take Israel to the ICJ. And yet Egypt, who shares a border with Gaza, couldn't even help the Palestinians just by opening the border to the most vulnerable. People, I ask you, does the Egyptian government even have the right to exist on the African continent, since they do not have, or they do not practice Ubuntu? They do not know what it is to feel like to be African and or Arab, for that matter. So, to the Egyptian government, you guys can go and fly a kite. You can go into the ocean. You can disappear. You can go die for all we care, because we don't feel that you are a part of Africa. You don't hold any African values. You don't know. You don't do anything for, not even for the Muslim culture. So you know what? Go suck something and don't even flip on anything. Next, we're going to get into the pros. So, the Egyptian government. People, there is no pros to what the Egyptian government have done. There's just no pros to it, right? And I don't see how the Palestinians can ever forgive the Egyptians for not allowing the most vulnerable into their country. I cannot see that. So for me, the Arab League, the AU, they all need to look into this, and they all need to punished Egypt for what they did in their, what I would call, in their aiding and abetting of a genocide, because 17,000 children were slaughtered by Israel, which could have simply been avoided if those 17,000 children were allowed into Egypt, right? The mothers, grandfathers, grandmothers, the sick and the elderly, if they were all allowed into Egypt, right? Those deaths could have been avoided. But no, the government of Egypt decides that they won't allow anyone into their country. And for me, that is like a big no no. It's un African, it's un Arab, it's un Muslim, it's unhuman. You, mm, there's just no words to describe the Egyptian government, because they are human animals. Human animals. So, guys, take that to the bank, the Egyptian government. Take that to the bank. And yeah, if you have an issue, take it up with the ICJ, because we have freedom of speech, freedom of movement. And like I said, the Egyptian government, you are nothing but human trash.